Today on Informal Gaming News, we're going through all the things with Battlefield 6 as we gear up for the multiplayer reveal in 2 days' time. And a little bit more information on the old Steam being forced to take down some games, which I've covered before, but, let's crack on. Let's just get into the news. Okay, Battlefield 6. There's a lot going on here. The release dates have somewhat been leaked. It's either October the 6th or October the 13th. It's kind of all over the shop. That's at least the rumored dates. We'll get that all revealed in 2 days. But 10 to 40 minutes, depending on which video of multiplayer gameplay was leaked online on YouTube for quite a while. It took a hot minute for EA to take it down, and it looks good. And I think this is the first time that we've actually had like proper crisp quality HD leak of the Battlefield Labs multiplayer, and it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of destruction. There's a lot of things going on, and we've got a few leaks on the Battlefield, the Battle Royale side of things as well, but we'll cover that a bit later. But it just looks phenomenal. It's been confirmed that there's going to be 2 different playlists, one with classes where weapons are locked to classes, and another one where it's not. But man, it looks really, really good. They're starting to get taken down now, so I can't put it in the comments down below. It looked like the gameplay came from May, so even so, there's been a lot more time since then that they've done with the game. But so it is looking good. It's looking good. It's looking in a solid state. Everyone's saying hold the ground. Do not pre-order this game. I'm probably going to pre-order the game. I said hold the ground too. We need to hold the line, gang. We need to hold the line. It's also been pretty well confirmed that it's going to be $80 US and €110, which is I think 120 US for the premium, which is going to be called Phantom. It's not sure what will be in either edition, but it's definitely looked like an $80 game, at least right now in American prices. That could change. They could grow a little hard over at EA and move that number down a little bit, just to a little 70, But yeah, outside of the footage, I don't want to talk about it too much, but it just looks really, really, really good. It just looks like a lot of fun. The destructibility in that game looks incredible. Looks like something that we haven't seen before, to be honest. I don't think we've seen destructibility in a game like that. A fair few details have come out of the Battle Royale as well. It looks like it's going to be set in California. I got the C states mixed up. And it's going to have a ring, and the destructibility in that looks incredible. I saw some footage on that as well. It looks absolutely unreal. The big heavy rumor is it's not going to be ready day one. It looks like it's going to be free to play. Again, these are all rumors, but they've been, I would say there's a bit of validity to the rumors here. So I wouldn't take it with a grain of salt, but I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe it's 90% right or 80% right. So it looks like it won't be there day one, which makes sense to me because I think the multiplayer, by the look of what we saw in the recent leaks, I think multiplayer is pretty well on its way there. I think it's pretty close. It just needs a big beta to come out so they can just play test to make sure the servers work. And just because they can't afford for this not to go well. And it's fine if, it releases with most of the maps and then they slowly release maybe 1 or 2 maps as over the next coming months, as long as most of the content's there. I think they're trying to get ahead of Call of Duty, and while there's a window before Grand Theft Auto, there's definitely a time to release this game. In one of the earnings calls, they definitely, I didn't say they acknowledged it, but they did allude to, there might be a window here, but it's very hard to kind of fit a window before GTA, where this is when GTA just got pushed back to May. So I think this might be a bit of the compromise, is that the Battle Royale won't be ready day one. I'd say that was probably the reason why it was holding up and looking for more like a January, February next year launch window. But now with the story, and we don't have confirmation whether the story will be there day one either. I'm guessing so. The story and multiplayer will be out, and then again rumored, but it looks like the Battle Royale, the free play Battle Royale, will come a few months later, which is fine because it's 3 separate studios working on 3 separate things, and I think the Battle Royale looks really good. We've looked at the map. I don't want to put it up here just because EA is really putting up the banhammer. But you can look it up yourself. I'll make a link. I'll put a link in the description if you want to go check that out. And some of the points of interest. But the way it's going to work is very similar to other Battle Royales. But with the destructibility, I just don't think we've seen anything like it, especially in a Battle Royale. So it is going to be something very different. And I keep saying, a lot of the Battlefield fans keep saying, we don't want a Battle Royale. It doesn't need to be for you. This is the thing. The reason why I think a Battle Royale will work much better in this than it would a Call of Duty is it's not going to cannibalize its fans from playing Search and Destroy and playing Team Deathmatch. Everyone that's locked in to play Conquest is gonna play Conquest. Like, we're all gonna play multiplayer. I probably won't play too much of the Battle Royale, but it will bring a new fan base, the next wave, the next generation, into Battlefield and checking it out and then going like, oh crap, this game looks good. I wonder what the other game modes are like. And yeah, if it's free to play, it's just a good entry point into the game, right? It's a little trier. It's a little trier before you buyer. So it makes a lot of sense. And they're putting a lot of money into this game. And, I think they want 100 million players or something like that. So, they need something like this to get to that level. They need some sort of free play version to sort of get people hooked, get people in the ecosystem, and then keep coming back. Because they want this game to have a lot of longevity, I'm assuming. With the amount of effort and the amount of development it's taken to build this game, it's not going to be like Call of Duty where there's a new one every year. So they've put a lot of eggs in this basket, so it really does need to work out. But yeah, I'm high. I'm solid on it. It's looking like October. It's really looking like an August beta. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything all goes to plan, and we're playing this very, very shortly. And it's gonna play around with Arc Raiders. That's the only worry. We've got a bit radio silent on that game, but they needed to polish everything off and make sure that was right as well. But it's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of games coming out this summer, where I think before it was looking a bit lean, and now within a couple of weeks it's like, oh boy, now we're packed. Now we've got too much going on, and I think a lot of that was due to Grand Theft Auto just thinking that game was going to come out very shortly. And now that's been pushed off. A lot of people that were, wondering if they should hold off on their game, are now like, let's get this out now. So that makes sense. Also, I did want to do a quick little update on the story that I did about 2 weeks ago, about the censorship on games. Well, censorship in inverted commas, and how Steam was taking down certain very adult games from their network, and they was blaming Visa and MasterCard and payment processors. And I think the internet kind of ran a bit wild that this is Visa MasterCard's fault. I said at the time that my background is in payment processing. This is what I did for a living for quite a long time. It's the actual payment processors themselves that are pushing against Steam. So it has nothing to do with Visa and MasterCard. They're just the card holders. They're the thing that goes between the bank and yourself in the business to just say like, yeah, there's money in this, there's money in this account. The payment processors are the ones that actually process the actual payment itself on the behalf of the business. And because it's a marketplace too, the risk parameters, because Steam obviously doesn't make any of these games, or very few. Valve makes very few games. So Steam is more of a marketplace. So it's really hard to take what we called third-party payments back in the day. And yeah, now it's sort of coming back. It's like, oh, it's not, Visa's now saying, hey, it's not our fault, it's the payment processors. And a few people, I think, on the internet are kind of going, well, that's just them passing the buck. It's really not. It's the payment processors. And the reason why that they're a bit anti-adult products is the chargeback rate on those is quite high. And if the company can't cover the chargebacks, say they go bankrupt or there's an issue that they can't make that payment for the chargeback, then the payment processor is on the hook for it. They have to pay it out of their pocket. So that's why chargebacks aren't very good. And if there's a large amount of chargebacks coming through because of, very adult games, and it does happen in the adult industry, quite often you'd be surprised at what their chargeback rate is, then it would raise the risk portfolio of the account. And again, it's already third-party payments that they're taking money on behalf of someone else and then giving them the money. So it's already like that. That's a very hard model to get a payment processor for. It's just because they're so big, and they probably would have started well back in the day that they've got a good payment processor on what would be a darling rate. And because they wouldn't be paying much fees, that this would probably be the compromise for them. It's either that the fees would have gone up to cover the risk, or you need to get rid of these games. So it's just the payment processors and no one's really saying these games can't exist. They just can't exist on this platform. They'll need to get another, make a platform for these type of games. And then from there, you can have your uncensored games. It's just obviously the payment processor would be more in the risk market, so they'd be happy to sort of push up the rates and go from there. But yeah, you would be paying a lot in fees. Adult games or adult entertainment, the payment processors, they charge a lot. I think the industry standard is like somewhere between 1% and 3%. I think like for adult, it's like 10%. So yeah, whoever's doing that's making a lot of money. And again, that's to cover all the chargebacks. And it is, the other thing is, it's not just the risk, it's very manual a chargeback. The bank comes to you and goes like, hey, they're disputing this transaction, and someone on the other line has to physically deal with that dispute. So it's also staffing and resourcing issues as well. And it is just grunt work. Like, it is very basic grunt work. So it is one of those things that, like, if you do get to a certain percentage of chargebacks, you're definitely trying to minimize that, just because it's very basic grunt work, and the staff that you need to hire for that aren't really going to be able to excel anywhere else. It is a real, like, entry-level job almost. And yeah, the type of people you get in that role, like, sometimes you get some young people in that, but then they only really hang around like a year and then they're getting promoted. So it's a really hard role, that one, just to, like, keep solid staff as well. So that's the other implication with that. And anyway, I just want to clarify it. I know, like, Inside Gaming has been making a few videos on it, and, like, I've watched that and I'm just like, you guys are wrong about this. But they're really, really good usually. So, and it is such a, like, a nerdy niche topic that I just thought I'd mention it. But yeah, it's chargebacks. And I know it sounds silly, and, like, adult games will either be chargebacks, and it's because someone would see, hey, you have, like, prison rape simulator, and then they'll just deny it that they did that. So then their partner would make them do a chargeback to prove that it was that, and the chargeback usually go in the customer favor. So just don't exploit that. It is called fraud, and you will get pinged for it. I've also seen that, but, like, I do see, if you just do one every now and then, it kind of falls through the system. But don't do it intentionally. It is fraud. Anyway, that is the whole video. That's the news. That's the informal gaming news. That's it. It's just a laid-back chat. It's just laid-back chat. Me and my microphone and some whatever gameplay footage is in the background here. Probably some Battlefield of some variety. Anyway, if you did like this video and you made it all the way through, hit the subscribe button, because it really does help us out, especially motivation-wise. We're making daily news channels. We do game reviews, and we do play sessions between myself and my brother. So yeah, and we're starting to get into, like, retro games and a few other bits and bobs as well. Otherwise, hit the like button, because it sends it off to algorithm land, and then it comes back to someone else, and then they send it off to algorithm land, and the like just helps the algorithms. That's all it does. And comment down below if either of these stories interest you, if you got an opinion on any of them. I love sort of just firing back and forth. There are things I don't think about, because I kind of read the news and then I form my own opinions. We try to be, this is why I call it, like, the informal gaming show, is because I try to not just report the news, because then I'm just regurgitating stuff. I try to have, like, a little bit of my own opinion on what I think is going to happen, or what might occur. So, or, just my own expressions, really, on a topic. Like, if I played a game and I didn't like it, and someone's coming out and saying, oh, it's actually quite good, I can sort of fire back and be like, no, I think it was quite shit. But that's fine, and I just like having a bit of opinions. There's no point being first on the internet. Well, some people just do that nonstop, but I like having a bit of an opinion on things. So if you like that, then yeah, stick around for these videos, because, like I said, they're going up daily. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to cut this up, edit this up, and get on out of here. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you, and bye.